question again is what?
How is the prospect of a contested convention affecting planning for this?
Well, from almost day one, when you have 17 candidates, you always have to make plans. Always, as part of our planning process, we have contingencies. We've had some since day one.
I'm wondering, David, if how that prospect might be affecting fundraising.
You know, it's interesting. There have been some national stories about this. We have seen, I can tell you unequivocally, we have not had one person who has committed to funding that's given any indication whatsoever that they're backing off, and we've seen virtually no other effect. I don't want to say none, but none that will materially affect our raising the dollars. So it's while there's been some things written about it, it's had almost no effect.
In follow-up to that, I mean, the Fortune magazine article came out last week. It talked about some of the corporate fundraising, Coke in particular. Can you speak to that? Are you seeing any of that where some corporate sponsors are shying away that it haven't given in the past?
I mean, I think everybody's a little bit different, but I mean, I don't think, I think that, you know, Coca-Cola, I think, backed away from both conventions, and just a business decision that they made to do that, but it's not the, I mean, companies make those decisions all the time, and they've got to make those, but it wasn't, you know, wasn't anything, you know, I think we've, at the same time that happened, I mean, more companies, I think, you know, showed up at the doorstep wanting to participate. So.
And interestingly, if it is a contested convention, I mean, there's going to be more excitement around this, and so many of the national donors, they want to support the process. They want to support the convention. It's not about a candidate. There are avenues for people to donate to a candidate. So I think there's a good chance there's going to be more excitement, and people are just going to want to be here.
I think that there's been a series of meetings that have been led by the Secret Service and by the city, you know, for downtown businesses to come and attend and listen to, you know, and ask those questions about how that's all going to work. I think it's been very informative. I think that there's a plan for all of that. I think that the people, you know, I know that, you know, some of these businesses have been visited, you know, personally by law enforcement agencies, you know, just to make sure that all gets worked out. And I think it's been an open, you know, process, and people have been able to ask questions and get answers to some of those questions.
I would say the question was, if I heard it right, discussions with companies choosing whether they stay open or move their hours. What we've always said from the beginning, that's an individual choice of those businesses. We've been working hard. One of the things, so many things are simply not decided. This is a long process. So there's not a lot definitive that can be said where security zones are, what streets may or may not be closed. We don't know those things yet. But as we know information, we've been giving guidance, and we'll continue to do that right up until the convention to give people the best information to make the choices that they might want to make.
All right, guys, one more question.
Let me add to that. There's been some talk about, I hear the term ghost town. Downtown's going to become a ghost town. That's not going to happen, folks. It's going to be a busy, bustling place. And security and other such things will have a de minimis effect. That's our goal, de minimis effect on business as usual.
And how are you measuring the economic success of the RNC, and how long will it take to get those results?
We are getting close to signing a contract on a significant study that will take place. Most of the data will be gathered during the convention. We're going to look at the economic impact as other conventions have, and look at some other effects to the perception of Cleveland by people who are here and other things. So we'll have that. My guess is it'll certainly be done, and we'll have it very open for the media. It'll be months after the convention until it's completed, but that's top of mind for us to have this done.
All right,
One
guys.
more burning question. One more.
Well,
John?
if you could just speak to, you know, the activity around is often at night. I mean, businesses are during the day. Could you speak to the fact, what happens during the day with these delegations at their individual hotels? And will there be that bustling activity during the day downtown, or will that be coming at 4, 5, 6 later in the
Well,
day?
it'll certainly increase as we get closer to the convention itself, because about roughly, I think, 20–30% of our delegates, alternates, and other such folks will be actually staying downtown. They're going to be here. They'll be part of that bustling I'm talking about. The bulk of the folks will be coming in, 5-ish, 6-ish, and that's when the town will open up.
I mean, congestion, but we're not going to, you have the breakfast at the hotels, the people are going to be in the hotels, there's going to be foot traffic. But as far as congestion, traffic-wise, you really don't see that until you get into
That's
the
correct.
late afternoon.
Fair observation. Thank you.